What's up, everybody? Welcome to Smokestack Joe's. I'm Joe, and today we're going to be doing some delicious pork belly burnt ends on the pit barrel cooker. But these aren't just any regular pork belly burnt ends. These are going to be Asian style. And I'll tell you what, once you do it this way, you're never going to go back to the regular barbecue sauce style burnt end. Also, it's not just any regular pork belly. This is some Gloucester Old Spot pork belly that I picked up from the Braga, New York's butcher. You can get this stuff online, delivered to you. I highly recommend checking them out. They got some top-end, high-quality meats. I'm excited to try this Gloucester Old Spot pork belly from them. So let's get going. First thing we got to do is light that pit barrel up. So let's do that. Alright, we got the pit barrel started. I'll let that heat up. Once those charcoals light, we're going to add some nice hickory wood to it. But in the meantime, we got to cut up our pork belly and make the rub for it. So, start with the rub. Let's do it. Now, as I said before, going Asian style with this. So, I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of this Chinese style 5-spice and some paprika, 1.5 tablespoons, garlic powder, 1 tablespoon, onion powder, tablespoon, brown sugar, 2 tablespoons. Mix this up. Seems pretty good. One last thing I forgot, some ground black pepper. We don't want too much, just a little bit, maybe a 1/2 tablespoon. If that, mix that up. This smells great. That 5-spice, that Chinese 5-spice has such great flavors in it. This is gonna be perfect. The brown sugar is gonna make some nice caramelized pieces. So one thing you probably noticed, no salt. The reason I don't use salt is because whenever I make a rub, I tend to go pretty heavy on the rub, as most barbecue guys do. So when I'm doing a piece of meat, I salt it, then I add the rub after. Then I can use as much or as little rub as I'd like without worrying about not having enough salt or having too much salt. So let's cut that pork belly up and then we'll get it seasoned. All right, let's chop this delicious pork belly up. Got a little bit of a gash here. Not liking that, but we'll deal with it. All right, so when I usually do pork belly burn ends, I'm using a whole belly like that big. But since I'm doing the burn ends, it's not that big a deal that I have these chunks because I'm gonna cut them up anyway. Also, there's no skin on this. I usually go skinless anyway. If you have skin on yours, I'd go ahead and take that off. You also want to try and find yourself one that's got a lot of meat. Problem with ordering meat online is you don't get to look at it. If you're at the store, try and find a nice thick piece. Something like this is going to be a little bit of an issue because of how thin it is. It's going to cook a lot quicker, and you don't want, this is just all fat right here. I might actually just disregard this piece. I might save this for with ground beef and make burgers. It's absolutely delicious. So I'm thinking I might do that with this piece just because of how thin it is. So, but these other pieces seem pretty good. So let's get to cutting these. This one though, it's got a gash here. You can see. Not a big deal though. We'll be able to. They'll just cut that. It'll be fine. You want to cut these into pretty big chunks. They're going to shrink down quite a bit. Probably cut these into 3 decent chunks here. You're going to want to get yourself a nice sharp knife to do this. You can throw these in the freezer for a little bit, stiffen them up, make it easier to cut. All right, so now the one with the gash. I'm just going to go in, cut it right there. The more similar in size you get all your pieces, the better off they're going to cook more evenly. We'll probably leave that one like that. I know it's a little big, but it's thin over here. This one's thin too. We'll probably leave that as is. All right, so there's our nice pork belly chunks. All right, so get yourself a tray. Throw these in the tray. All right, there we have it. Now we're gonna go ahead and season these. All right, so I'm going in with salt first. Like I mentioned before, I'm gonna salt this, then put the seasoning on. And I'm gonna use this pink Himalayan salt, works pretty good, but kosher salt, whatever you have, sea salt, it'll all be fine. Whatever your preference is. go ahead and use it. And this isn't gonna need that much salt. The sauce these are gonna be put into after is gonna have plenty of salt in it, so don't be too worried about putting enough salt on. All right, should be good on salt there. Now to our seasoning. What I like to do is just season these one by one, just so they're fully covered with this good seasoning. And as you season them, the ones on the bottom will also get seasoned. I'm gonna go ahead and get these all seasoned up. All right, all seasoned. Let's get these on the smoker. So I like to get the pork belly right on the grate so I can just lift this whole thing up, throw it in the smoker instead of letting that smoker lid be open, because that fire under there really picks up when that lid's off. So like I said before, we want to go fat side down. Sometimes you got fat on both sides, just do your best. I like going fat side down to protect the meat part so it doesn't get overcooked. I also like when the fat drips down onto that fire and it steams back up with that fat. It adds tremendous flavor. It's one of the best things about doing direct heat cooking compared to something like an offset. You get the drippings down into the fire and then they come back up and just add a fantastic flavor. Make some space between these. They're gonna shrink up. Give them some room. So let's get these on the smoker. All right, so we got those pork belly pieces on the pit barrel cooker. I'm thinking an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'll probably check them at an hour just to make sure it's not cooking too quick. We're really going for just a nice exterior color, bark kind of thing. And at that point, we'll pull them off. We're gonna throw them in a tray with some butter, honey, brown sugar. Then we'll let that steam for a while and get nice and tender. And then after that, we add our delicious Asian style sauce to that. And we'll let that sit in there uncovered for about a half hour, 45 minutes to let that all set up. So basically, just wait. But in the meantime, we can make that sauce. So let's do it. Green onions. Now, I like to peel this crap off, get to the good stuff. This whole piece junk, that's not good. I also like to trim these ends off. Want a nice fine dice on these. Should be good like that. Just give it another rough chop. Want this pretty fine. Want all that flavor to come out of there and infuse into this sauce. All right, should be good. Move this off to the side. Ginger. Can't have an Asian sauce without ginger. Let's trim this up. Like to slice this into big planks. We want to dice this up small. Now we're ready to make this sauce. Let's get our pot going. Get yourself a nice pot, put it on medium, high, medium. First thing we're gonna add soy sauce. Maybe a half cup or so, maybe a cup. I like to go with low sodium soy sauce because it's already salty enough. To that, a little bit of sesame oil, 1/8 quarter of a cup. Then about the same amount rice vinegar, some mirin, just like an Asian cooking wine, and a little bit of fish sauce. Won't make it taste like fish, don't worry. Let this heat up a little bit. To this, I'm gonna add a little bit of black pepper, a little more of that Chinese style 5 spice. I'm gonna add some rice seasoning. This stuff is great. You can add it onto just white rice, it's good, but I've noticed that any Asian dish, you put some of this in, just ups the flavor that much more. Plus you got the sesame seeds in here, which adds some great look to this. There's seaweed in here and some other good things. That seaweed is great for that umami flavor, so I like to add some of this in there. I'll add some fresh garlic. We'll go with 3 cloves of garlic. Then we'll add the ginger and green onions. We'll just let this heat up nice. Let all these terrific flavors blend. And then once that pork's ready, this is going in. All right, so let this boil for a little bit. Turn it off. Keep it on the stove after you turn it off and just let it simmer for a bit. And that is it. All right, so this pork belly's been on for about an hour and a half. It's looking pretty good. I think it's time to pull. Throw it in the pan, add the sugar, the butter, the honey. Let's do this. All right, guys, this is what we're looking for. Got some beautiful color on these. Still not that tender. This is where we're just looking to get some bark and color. So these look good. They're right where I like them. This is what we're looking for. Something like that. You guys could smell. This is just phenomenal. So let's get these in the tray. All right, so go ahead and throw these in. I like to flip them over now. That Chinese 5-spice smells phenomenal. I know it's got fennel, it's got cinnamon, it's got licorice root. I could smell the sweetness. This is gonna be some of the best pork belly burn ends you could ever have. So first thing we're gonna do, add some slices of butter. Can't go wrong with butter. Another favorite ingredient of mine, some lard. This is gonna be so good. It's just gonna be braising away in this butter-lard combo. And you can see how yellow this butter is. Yeah, I got myself some good butter. Butter and lard, we got a good start to this. Then, I wanna sprinkle on some brown sugar, some honey. Then, just wanna cover this with some foil. Now we throw this on the smoker. It's been about an hour since those pork belly burn ends were put in the tray into the smoker. I think they're ready. Let's give them a check and then we'll add the sauce, let them go for another half an hour, and then they should be ready to go. Oh yeah, these are looking great. Now we just want to check these for tenderness. Oh yeah, see how easy that goes through? Like butter. That's what we're looking for. Super tender kid. All right, kind of mix these up a little bit. Let's get our sauce. Here's that fantastic sauce that we made earlier. Just go ahead and dump that right in here. This is gonna be good. All right, now I just wanna give this a good mix. Get all these pieces coated well in this sauce. Now let this go uncovered for another half an hour. All right, this pork belly's been on for a half an hour sitting in that sauce. It is done. I'm gonna pull it off. We're gonna give it a try. I am excited. Gonna be good. Let's get it. This pork belly is done and it smells fantastic. Just gotta do a little garnish, then give it a try. But look at this. This is some beautiful pork belly burn ends. Let me show you some of this. Yeah, this is good stuff right here, guys. Super tender. Oh, it just wants to fall apart. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this together though. What I'm gonna do is some more of this rice seasoning. Perfect little garnish for this. Sprinkle this on top. Oh yeah, just beautiful. Bam, that's some pork belly. Let's get a good look at this. Would you look at it? I mean, just look at it, redonkulous. It's gonna be so good. Oh yeah. All right guys, we got the delicious garnish on here. There's only one thing left. I'm gonna give this a try. And I've been dying to see how this tastes. Which one do I want? I'm going with this one. This is my choice right here. Let's give this a shot. Cheers. One word, delicioso. This is so good, guys. Perfectly tender. Oh yeah, falls apart. But that sauce, guys, you need to get the sauce. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, follow me on Instagram. I always got good stuff on there. I'll be making some more good videos, so stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next time.